Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Wales from West to East. It's the 3rd of March, which is actually the Bulgarian national holiday, and it's slowly starting to become springtime. There's some trees which have already flowered in the garden and all that. So during the last shopping session I've decided to buy the necessary to show you this recipe, which is something very fresh and nice, which we have during summertime in Bulgaria. So these are fried zucchini covered with this yogurt based sauce. So this recipe can be quite long to prepare. It's not hard, it's just long because basically what you have to do is fry a whole lot, like that lot of thin slices of zucchini, which if done like I do it usually with a frying pan can take quite a while, like maybe 1 hour or so. However, if you have a deep fryer machine, you know, the big things full of oil, this can be almost instantly done once you have prepared it. It's just depends on the size of your deep fryer, but basically if you can fit all of the zucchini, you can, or even half of them, you can do it in maybe 10 minutes. So yeah, keep in mind, if you don't have a deep fryer, prepare yourself for quite some cooking time. Even if it's not hard, it takes a lot of time. If not, good for you, you can do it real fast. So I guess that's it for the introduction. So as Walter White would say, let's cook. Right, so the ingredients. This recipe is actually two separate parts. One is the zucchini, I believe, that's how you call it, and the other is the sauce. So for the first part, the zucchini, there's not much except for the vegetable and salt, some oil for the frying, and some flour. Yeah, baby milk boxes are great for storing the flour. Then, oh yeah, and a refrigerator bag, you'll see what it's for later. And for the sauce, you'll need this yogurt based sauce, so some Bulgarian yogurt. You can check the video which I put in the description and in an annotation about it for more information, how to find what you need in terms of Bulgarian yogurt. Other than that, some dill, again salt, some garlic, and some olive oil, just a little bit. So nothing too fancy, but yeah, that's it. So now we're gonna move on to the preparation. Alright, so part 1 of this preparation. Now this phase is not mandatory, but you should usually do it for better results. Now what you should know is that zucchini tend to be slightly sour in taste if it's because of the juices that they contain inside. So one thing to do to reduce this is cut the zucchini in slices, round slices like that, about that thick. So just cut the whole of it, not too thick, not too thin either, because it will be very hard to fry them if they're too thin. But yeah, as I said, this should do it. So once you have cut all of your zucchinis, you should put them somewhere where you have a lot of space. Obviously I won't be able to use this for all of it, but I'm just going to show you what to do. And then take some salt, just a little bit, and put a couple of grains of salt on top of every little piece, every slice, like that. And then ideally you should leave it on a surface which is slightly like that. But what this will do is, if you leave it for maybe 20-30 minutes, I don't know, depends, to actually extract the water, the salt will extract the water from inside the slices, and it will start forming on top of them, and it will start pouring down. So as I said, this is not mandatory, you don't have to do it, but you have a better taste if you do it. So just a thing to keep in mind, this can take some time. So usually what I do is I start with this, I leave the zucchini to the side for a while, keep them, make them drain themselves a little bit like that, and in the meantime I prepare the sauce and do other stuff, and then I come back and finish the preparation. So yeah, this is a little trick to do. It's you can also do it with eggplants. It also works with eggplants, who tend to be similar to zucchini. So once the water starts forming, you can also absorb it with some absorbing paper or something like that, or simply wash it off. It's up to you how you organize it. So this is for the first part. I'm gonna finish slicing the zucchini, and then I'm gonna show you how to prepare the sauce. Alright, time for the next phase. So as I said, I've cut all the zucchini, and I've put salt on top of them. It's been about 5 to 10 minutes, I don't know exactly, since I did this. So you can probably see the moisture forming on top of them all over. As I told you, this will happen because of the salt. So I'm gonna leave this to the side some more while we prepare the sauce. So this sauce is it's a very fresh and summery sauce, if I can say that, that we use for many things in Bulgaria. I guess if anybody is Greek will probably also know of this, because it's typically Greek as well. Anyways, what you need is some kind of a little pan like that, and the Bulgarian yogurt, or closest substitute, which in this case is this. So I've made a separate video some time ago in which I show you this kind of product, and I explain the differences between what is usually marketed as Bulgarian yogurt and what is more like real Bulgarian yogurt, or maybe Greek yogurt if you prefer. It's mostly the same except for the milk which is used. Anyways, you can check this later if you want. Now, for the sauce, what you need is some of this yogurt. So make sure to take the main part, which is the yogurt, and some of the liquid, which is usually around it, like that. Not too much, because you don't want it to be too liquid. So, oops, one thing, sorry, which is nice about this is that you don't have to make a ton of it to one go. You can always prepare some more if you need to. So just take as much as you want, keep the rest, and make some more if you need it. So, yeah, a bit of a mess. First, you should mix the yogurt with the liquid part to eliminate all the little pieces. I don't know how to call it, but it should end up more smooth, like that. So I think I'm gonna need some more, because this will not be enough for the zucchini that I've prepared. I got about a kilogram of zucchini. Yeah, this should do it well. Okay. So once it's well mixed like that, it's extremely simple. You just add some of the garlic, as much as you like. You can also use fresh garlic if you don't like dry garlic like this. So it's entirely up to you. just a little bit of olive oil. So be careful, maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons like that, and the dill. Again, add as much as you prefer, as much as you like. I'm using frozen dill, you can use fresh dill, of course. It's probably better, but more expensive as well. So basically this is the sauce. You just mix it all together. As you can see, it's really simple, but it's really nice and fresh. Another typical use for this kind of sauce is for fried eggs. We would make fried eggs and cover them in this sauce. It's very nice. You'll see if you try it for the summer, because this sauce is very fresh, and you have it cold from the refrigerator. This is why I'm preparing it in advance as well. You just prepare it, and oh yeah, I forgot. Salt. You should add some salt. Sorry. Some salt in the sauce. Goes to taste as usual. There we go. So yeah, as I said, prepare this while waiting for the zucchini to get dried from the sour juices that they contain. So you do this, and you can cover it and put it in the fridge while waiting for the rest of the recipe. So that's it for the sauce. Maybe some other time I'm gonna show you another recipe with it, but basically you can use this for other things if you like. Alright, now for the next part of this recipe. Now I believe this is enough of the draining process. You can probably see the zucchini are really covered in juice now. So what I'll do is try and absorb it all. Just put some absorbing paper on top like that. Oops. There we go. This way they will be softer and better tasting, as I said. Okay. Now, there's 2 solutions. You can either directly fry them as they are right now, or if you prefer them to be a little bit I don't know, crunchier, crispier maybe, what you should do is to take a nice bag which won't easily break. This is why I'm using the freezer bags like that, because they tend to be sturdy. And take the flour, take some flour and put it inside. You can also start preheating your oil about now. So, yeah, this won't be enough. Okay, and you just take all the zucchini and drop them in. Well, not all of them. You should do this lot by lot, I guess. Or maybe not even a whole lot. Anyway, the idea is, when this does this, it's an easy way to get a lot of little pieces covered in flour without wasting any, because once they're done you can just take them out and add the other ones in. So just make sure you hold it well and shake it like that. Make sure they're not pasted one to another. like that. Separate them well so that they get covered from all sides. And once you think they are well equally covered in flour, you can start frying them. Alright, so time for the frying now. At the stove I've put a small frying pan. Now it's up to you, you can do it as you prefer. You can use a large frying pan or a small one. The difference is that with a small one you can use much less oil, because to properly fry these you need to have enough oil to cover them, like completely, not just from one side but from both sides. So using a small pan allows you to use less oil, which is always nice, but it will also be slower because you cannot put all that many at the same time. So it's always up to you, do as you prefer. Anyways, here we are. Just gonna leave the oil heat up a little bit. As you can see, I put the whole lot of the zucchini here, one of the lots in this bag. They are well covered in flour now. I've prepared a large bowl with some absorbing paper at the bottom. This is to absorb some of the oil which always remains on things that you fry. This way, when you have a whole lot of them, the bottom one will not like bathe in oil. It will get absorbed and you can then throw it away. So now this is a bit messy because you have basically, there's no other way but to use your hands to take out the zucchini, but and be careful not to burn yourself. Just separate them. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get them separated inside the bag. Try not to take any excessive flour from the bag because it will just burn at the bottom of the pan and it's useless. And you can always use it to prepare the remaining. So as you can see, basically you just have to properly spread them at the bottom of the pan, and I think it should get it a bit hotter. And I think I put a little bit too many because ideally they shouldn't cover one another like that. But while frying they will also get softer at some point and smaller because they will lose some more of the juices. However, this one is stuck, so I'm gonna need another tool from over here to properly separate them. Like that. Okay, this should do it now. So basically there's nothing special about this, you just fry them from both sides, meaning that at first you can leave them like that for a while and then try and turn them from the other side, but it's not all that important. If you put enough oil, as I said, they should more or less fry from both sides at the same time. And you remove them once they get all browny, golden, crispy like. Right, so as you can see, this is what the zucchini will turn into. As you can see, they've lost quite a bit of their size because they shrunk a little bit because of the frying, and the flour on top has become all crispy and browny like that. So basically, this is when you take them out. Make sure to use a tool which has holes in it to eliminate as much oil as you can when you remove them. So just take them out, drop them in your bowl or whatever you're using to store them. This can take a while, and of course if you have a big deep fryer thingy, you can use it. It will be much faster. You can make a whole lot of zucchini, cover them all in flour and just drop them all in and be done in a couple of minutes, I guess. But since I don't have this, I'm gonna use the old-fashioned way, which will take a while, but basically it's the same thing over again. Just make sure if your oil level gets too low, like probably is the case now, add just a little bit more every time, because the all the flour and zucchini and all that, they absorb some of the oil. So make sure there's enough oil in the pan for the next batch, and that's it. So just repeat this until you're done with all of them. Okay, just a little thing that I forgot to mention. Now I'm almost about done with this, but there's maybe 2 or 3 more batches left. And as I said, there's a lot of the flour which will remain in the frying pan during the process. So the problem is that it forms like a thick liquid like that, I guess, which is the flour. Basically, it's a good idea at this point to just throw away all the remaining oil and replace it with fresh one, because it gets the zucchini brown too fast before they're actually ready, so it's kind of hard to tell if they're ready or not. And also it slows the cooking process a lot, because it absorbs all the heat, and basically the zucchini are not really frying in the oil, but rather in this mixture of flour and oil. So what I'm gonna do is just wait for the last couple of zucchini to get ready here, and just throw this and replace it with a bit of fresh oil. Alright, so after a fair bit of frying, I am finally ready with all the zucchini. So there we go, the sauce. So now what's left is to eat it. This is nice to have with some cold beer maybe, or cold white wine. This is typically served cold in Bulgaria. This is why I said it's more of a summer dish than winter, because the sauce comes from the fridge, and normally the zucchini are at least room temperature. Shouldn't really have them hot, because they are not all that nice. Well, it's a matter of taste, but anyways, if you make a large batch like that, don't heat them up, because they'll lose the crispiness that they've obtained by the frying when they're reheated. So just serve a dish like that, and pour some of the sauce on top of it, and basically that's it. So you can put a little bit of sauce on every one, or just completely cover the whole dish. It's a matter of taste and how much sauce you would like to have. So that's it. Hope you like it, and see you soon at What's to Eat.